Justice. We need
What is justice?
Evil shall never triumph.
Does it exist to punish the guilty or to protect the innocent?
That demon shall fall.
Come on, Lamington!
When an innocent man goes on a trial, the stakes are high, for all eyes are on the defendant.
Justice.
I'm gonna deal with the demons!
But when a demon goes on a trial, all eyes are on the devil's attorney.
Here I am, the Netherworld Supreme Court. Okay, Phoenix, keep it together. Today, you'll be defending the overlord of this realm, who is accused of killing an ambassador of another realm. I haven't been this nervous since my first trial.
Mr. Wright, you're shaking. Are you okay?
I am. I'm just under a lot of pressure, as you can guess. Our investigation yesterday didn't go as smoothly as I was hoping, and I'm feeling slightly unprepared for a case of this magnitude.
That's real comforting to hear.
Well, if anyone can pull it off, it's going to be you. You weren't just randomly picked to defend the prince, you know.
That's right. You were handpicked by Master Lamington himself.
Vaughn? You're here too?
Of course. There's no way I've missed seeing Mr. Wright in action.
Vaughn, it's not like this is an episode of some animated series.
Will Lamington be attending the trial?
I'm afraid it's impossible for him to come. Things are a bit heated up in Celestia, and he has his hands full preventing the situation from escalating.
It's hard to believe that angels could get pissed off like that. Then again, we had Vulcanus.
Master Volcanus. A sad case indeed.
And we also had that angel from last night.
Huh? An angel?
An angel broke into the castle last night and made some dubious offer to Mr. Wright.
Oh my! That doesn't sound angel-like at all!
Yeah, what kind of angel sneaks around the castle and stalks people like some assassin? What did you do to him anyway?
He's now safely locked up in the castle dungeon. He sure has a lot of explaining to do.
Anyway, Etna, I recall you talking about a court system reform when I came here, and how was I supposed to be briefed on it here?
Oh, I totally forgot about it. You're right, though.
So...
I believe I could be of assistance.
Huh? That voice!
It's good to see a familiar face around here, Mr. Wright.
Am I dreaming again?
Nope, wide awake.
How did you end up here, Your Honor?
It's a funny story, actually. I was going to have a short stay in Canada on my brother's family. We were going to go watch the Curling Championship League live, but alas, duty called.
Oh, right. Lamington arranged so that the judge presiding over the case is the one he always had. He thought your common history would be of help. Plus, a human judge is a must for the same reason as a human attorney. Neutrality.
Young man, are you saying that I was not picked for my extraordinary skills of judging alone?
It's like you're a dynamic duo of justice, the Phoenix and the Judgeinator.
I wonder if this really will be an advantage. Your Honor, did they tell you what this case is about?
I am fully aware of what I am doing. Mostly.
I don't think that's fully aware, Your Honor.
Well, the two gentlemen who courteously invited me here explained that an ambassador of the country had been murdered and they asked me to preside over the trial. Naturally, my sense of justice couldn't allow me to refuse a task of such importance.
And, did they happen to tell you anything about the justice system?
In fact, they did. I was given this book to study, although it seems as if it was written by two rivaling writers with completely different approaches to justice.
That's bureaucracy for you.
So is there anything in there I should be aware of?
Well, there is one law that is bothering me. It's about...
Well, if it isn't the killer and his court.
Oh, it's her.
I told you 1,000,000 times! I didn't do it!
You can deny it all you want, but I have all the proof I need. In any case, I hate to interrupt your little tea party with the honorable judge, but it's almost time for the trial. I'll make sure he's properly prepared.
Sounds to me like you're going to try and get the judge on your side.
Petty accusations without any base. And pray tell, what have you been doing with him all this time?
That's not what we...
Enough. Save your excuses for the trial.
I didn't even get to finish the sentence.
Your Honor, if you would please follow me.
Why didn't you say anything, Mr. Wright?
I tried to.
Well, just trying isn't going to win us the trial!
Give me a break. I need a moment to gather my thoughts. The truth is out there, no matter how much they wish to obstruct finding it with any trick laws they can throw at me. Once I find the truth and reveal it, they won't matter anymore. For now, I'll stick to the basics and seek out the truth, one step at a time.
The Supreme Court of the Netherworld is now in session for the trial of Overlord Laharo Khrushchevskoy. Is the prosecution ready to condemn? Is that really what I have to say?
Do not let the little formalities bother you, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready.
The defense?
Hold it!
Huh?
Before you say anything you'll regret later, perhaps you would like to reconsider whether you're really ready or not. Walking out the door right now wouldn't make you any less of a man in my eyes.
It's probably because you already consider me the lowest of the low. If I wasn't ready, I wouldn't be standing here now, Miss Prava.
Mr. Wright, because you are unfamiliar with the Netherworld justice system, I should probably point out some important laws you should be aware of. Lex Demonica number 1. Before the court of the Netherworld, the defendant is guilty until someone else is proven guilty.
Wait, what? Objection! Your Honor, surely you can't condone this!
Mr. Wright, these laws were approved both by Netherworld's and Celestia's justice officials. These are the rules we play by.
As much as it doesn't fit our sense of justice, I'm afraid the prosecution is right. We're not in Kansas anymore, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled.
Also, Your Honor, may I remind you that we're not here for Netherworld Law 101. If you start tutoring Mr. Wright in something he should have studied beforehand, we'll all just be wasting time here. But I guess I can inform Mr. Wright about any important laws as they come by.
Such arrogance was to be expected from you, Miss Prava.
Thank you, Miss Prava. The prosecution may now present its opening statement.
Certainly, Your Honor. As we are all aware, on September 22nd, the Grand Ambassador of Celestia, Ajiro Kaliga, arrived in the Netherworld for political negotiations. After arriving, the ambassador first visited his designated hotel, Gatewater Netherworld, to apparently have some rest. Unfortunately, the Sessanesque security team supposed to protect him arrived too late. The ambassador was already dead by the time. Luckily, his assailant hadn't managed to escape yet, and thus he was caught at the scene of the crime. Need I even say it was the Overlord? But standing around the scene of the crime is not the only thing that points to his guilt. Due to the body being transported back to Celestia, the autopsy report is yet to arrive. But the prosecution believes it's not even necessary. I ask the court to pay attention to this photograph. As you can see, the ambassador has been stabbed in the back with a dagger, killing him on the spot. And not just any dagger. This dagger so happens to be from the Netherworld Castle Armory. Not that you could tell if you weren't a weapons expert.
How can you assume he was killed instantly without an autopsy?
Do you see any other stab wounds in the picture? I can tell you there were none. But if you don't trust my word, the Celestian authorities will send us both a detailed autopsy report by tomorrow. Not that this trial is likely to last that long. But anyhow, what's interesting about this dagger is that it's impossible to recover fingerprints from the handle, thus making it an ideal weapon for assassins.
Very well. The court accepts this evidence.
This ends my opening statement.
In that case, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the leader of the murder investigation, Miss Judy Prava, to testify.
You're calling yourself to the stand?
Yes. After all, nobody knows the details of this murder better than I do. No need to make things more confusing with a separate witness. Simply put, I'm the best witness you can have.
Fine, I'll play along, Miss Prava.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is it. It's showtime!
The ambassador arrived at the hotel as scheduled and in good condition.
As scheduled?
Yes. According to the hotel manager, the ambassador arrived to the hotel around noon to rest for a while before the long day of politics.
What was the exact time of arrival?
The hotel's check-in record says 12:17 a.m.
How many people had access to the ambassador's schedule?
Only those who needed to know. And they too only knew about the information relevant to themselves. That means the politicians only knew when and where the meetings would be held, for example.
So who could have known when the ambassador would arrive to the hotel, and the room he was staying in?
The Sassanasque security team, naturally, the hotel manager, and, of course, the Overlord, who had a copy of the full schedule. Unfortunately, the Sassanasque security team meant to protect him arrived too late.
How come the security team wasn't there to protect the ambassador straight after his arrival in the Netherworld? I don't think that's very professional of your bureau.
For your information, Mr. Wright, we were under orders from the ambassador himself not to act as bodyguards. Instead, the team was stuck sitting at the headquarters doing nothing until I told them to ignore the orders and go protect the ambassador anyway.
Why did you tell them to ignore the orders?
Sometimes people don't know what's best for them, or the things they represent. He trusted the demons too much, and here's the result.
Aren't you a demon yourself, Miss Prava?
We found the ambassador stabbed, and the Overlord inside the ambassador's room. Caught red-handed, so to say.
But what motive would my client have to murder him?
Why a killer kills is irrelevant. Whether over love or plain bloodlust, murder is a heinous crime that needs to be punished gravely for, no matter what the reason.
What?
If you want a motive so badly, perhaps you would like to suggest a theory of why your client might want the ambassador dead.
Miss Prava, you're avoiding my question. The Overlord just doesn't kill the ambassador of another plane for no reason.
Unless he wants to say, screw you, Celestia, of course. Is that a reason enough?
And just why would he want to say that?
Who am I to say what goes on inside his head? The other incriminating facts still stand. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Having caught him right after the murder, we arrested him on the spot.
Did you witness my client actually stabbing him?
No, but standing around the crime scene certainly is suspicious. Especially when the fresh corpse has a dagger from your client's armory sticking from its back.
Things are looking bad for Lahara, but there's bound to be something odd in her testimony. I suppose I should ask her about what she thinks happened in the room in more detail. The defense requests that the prosecution presents their theory on how exactly the murder happened.
As you wish. The ambassador was escorted to his room by the hotel manager. After that, he was left alone.
Hold it!
Perhaps the manager could have...
Objection! If you're going to suggest that the manager killed him, how do you explain the dagger?
Okay, that was a doomed intent.
Besides, the ambassador was alive after that.
How do you know that?
He ordered room service a few minutes later, according to the hotel record. A cup of very strong tea.
Tea? Was that what caused the kitchen to be devastated?
Armed with the dagger from the armory, Overlord Laharl sneaks to the room without being seen.
Hold it!
Surely someone must have seen him.
The hotel staff was busy elsewhere, so no. There were only 4 people working there at the time. The manager, the maid, and the 2 prinnies.
4 people to staff a hotel that size seems unreasonable to me!
There are usually more, but the day happened to be the yearly day off for all the prinny servants.
So she is aware of the prinny.
But didn't you say that there were still 2, prinnies at work?
Your Honor, apparently they forgot about their only day off.
Oh, I do tend to forget minor things and details.
Oh, really? Anyway, I guess the staff over there were probably distracted by that explosion.
Inside the room, he stabs the ambassador in the back, killing him instantly.
Hold it!
How did he get into the room? Wasn't it locked?
We presume the ambassador either opened the door for him or that it was ajar.
The later sounds unlikely. Is it even possible to kill with a single stab?
Of course. We are talking about the Overlord's strength and blade mastery, after all.
Well, can't argue with that.
Besides, I refer you back to the point of there only being a single stab wound.
So there wasn't a struggle between the 2?
No evidence of combat was found at the crime scene.
I'll keep that in mind.
As he's preparing to escape, the Susanesque team rushes to the spot, catching him straight after the kill.
Hold it!
So were you certain that the ambassador was killed only recently?
Mr. Wright. He had been in the hotel for half an hour. It was during that time that he died.
Sometimes I wonder why I keep asking all these silly questions.
That's our theory. And the dagger supports it 100%. But the best part is yet to come.
There's more?
A theory's only a theory until it's proven to be true. And what could be better proof than the dead body holding onto something that's without a doubt the Overlord's?
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to the court the authentic Overlord's ring, the symbol of his power and might, found clenched in the fist of the dead ambassador.
That's a lie! That ring can't be real!
Order! Order in the court!
If it's a fake, show us the real one.
I can't! It's in the treasury!
Is it now? Your Honor, with your permission, I'd like to call a witness.
Certainly, Miss Prava.
The prosecution calls Captain Gordon, Slayer of the Netherworld, to the stand.
Laharl! I have terrible news! Someone has stolen the Overlord's ring!
What? But you were supposed to guard it!
Would this be the real ring, Captain?
Oh, thank heavens! The ring is safe!
Would you swear that this is the real one?
Why, I would swear it on my finest Pizza Shack's teriyaki pizza. Where did you find it?
In the dead ambassador's fist.
What?! This is terrible! The Celestian ambassador turned out to be a thief?
Thank you, Captain. You've said more than enough.
Gordon!
I'll be on my way.
Why is this ring so special?
It's a unique piece of jewelry that is passed down from Overlord to Overlord. It is worn during formal ceremonies and important political events. Otherwise, it is kept in the Netherworld Castle Treasury, guarded vigorously.
This most certainly makes things difficult for your client, Mr. Wright.
This is not good.
I believe this is more than enough to prove beyond all doubt that the Overlord is guilty. The prosecution rests.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything to say for your client's defense?
She had that ring tucked away all the time. I know Laharl's not guilty. This case isn't that simple. Something doesn't add up here. I just need to find it, and quick!
Miss Prava, your case is based on assumptions and the fact you don't think a motive matters. You also assume we don't need an autopsy report because of what we see in that picture. You think motive for this murder is irrelevant!
I've established and justified everything I need to. And what about the ring, Mr. Wright? How do you explain that?
That ring appears to be so precious to you that you disregard everything else.
What are you getting at?
You believe that the ring proves without a doubt that my client is guilty, when in fact,
it proves the complete opposite!
What?
Miss Prava, how did the ring end up in the ambassador's fist?
Well, he must have nabbed it when...
I see that you realized it as well.
What are you implying, Mr. Wright?
There couldn't have been a fight in the room as Miss Prava stated earlier. Therefore, it's impossible for the ambassador to have snagged the ring from Laharl before he was stabbed. If we add to the fact Laharl avoided being caught at all costs...
Objection! This is ridiculous! I refuse to accept this. He might have used the ring to distract the ambassador and then stab him.
And leave the body with a dagger and the ring behind? Was he not escaping when you got there? Or are you suggesting he wanted to be caught?
Well done, Mr. Wright. The rumors turned out to be true. Even if you're a human, your skills are quite adequate. However, you've yet to answer the most important question of them all for your client.
That being?
Who murdered the Celestian Grand Ambassador Ajiro Kaliga on September 22nd? Remember, Legs Demonica number 1. Your client is guilty until someone else is proven guilty. So, Mr. Wright, who are you going to blame to save your client?
If I can't prove that ring could have been taken by someone else, we're finished. I don't have any evidence yet, though. But I have to think of something! I can't accuse anyone for certain yet. I need to investigate more before I can be sure.
But that's not how things work around here, Mr. Wright. First we accuse, then we investigate. These are the rules we play by. Of course, we can't have you accuse anyone arbitrarily. They have to be related to the crime in some way that is enough to cast suspicion on them.
Objection! This is outrageous! Your Honor, surely you see this as biased!
I'm afraid that this is their justice system, and as much as it pains me to say it, we have to go by their laws.
Well, I'm not going to stop here. For now, I need to buy us some time. And the only way I can do that is accuse someone who's got access around the hotel and the castle. Please forgive me for this. The defense would like to cast suspicion on the only maid in the hotel that day, Flan. As a close friend of the Overlord and an employee at the hotel, it is very much possible that she has a bigger role in all of this.
What? Are you out of your mind, Mr. Wright?
I'm trying to save your hide. Trust me on this.
I'm innocent!
Order! Order! Order in the court!
So you wish to prolong the inevitable? Fine by me. It will be delightful to see you squirm in despair some more before I crush you. Boys, take them away. This court is adjourned.
Wait, am I not supposed to be the one saying that?
Clearly you've yet to realize who holds the real power in this court. Now if you'll excuse me, which you will, I have an investigation to oversee. I'll see you here the day after tomorrow. Ta-ta.
I can just hope I didn't get myself into any more trouble by doing that.
Why, I should hold her in contempt of court! That arrogant prosecutor! How dare she!
Whoa, calm down, please, Your Honor.
Yes, my apologies. Both the defense and the prosecution are hereby granted one additional day to investigate the involvement of this young lady. This is all for today. This court is adjourned. I need some time to think through all of this myself. Ruling over this case wasn't quite what I expected it to be.
She may know every dirty trick in the book, but against the truth they stand no chance. And I will find the truth no matter what it takes. There are still too many questions left unanswered. How did the Overlord's ring end up in the crime scene? What about the mysterious disappearing letter? And most importantly, who really killed Aduro Kaliga?
Woe be on all of the Netherworld! The King and Queen have been captured by the evil Scarlet Knight and her minions!
Etna, now is really not the time?
But there is still hope! A true hero of justice is here to save the day!
That's right, I'm Captain Gordon, defender of...
Not you!
Oh.
I mean the Justice Knight Etna with her Lance of Truth and her bumbling Squire Phoenix.
Seriously, guys, we have no time for this!
You're just jealous because you're only a squire, aren't you?
I'm not!
Well, if you don't want to be the squire, I'd be happy to.
How will they fare against the evil magic of the Scarlet Knight? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Epic Heroine Etna versus the Scarlet Knight!
I'm leaving.
Well, more prestige for me.
And me!
Oh, shut up!